It all happened at a Dollar General around 1 this afternoon. Police say the shooter left 3 different manifestos detailing his hate toward black people. Reports say the gunman then barricaded himself inside the shop and killed 3 victims, all of them black, before turning the gun on himself.
Portions of these manifestos detail the shooter's disgusting ideology of hate.
Just a truly sick, demented individual. Just the crazy world that we live in with people like this scum, senseless act to take these innocent lives for no reason. Make sure you guys keep the thoughts of all these families with you guys today, because I couldn't imagine going through something like this. Just senseless, just a really evil individual is the only way to put it. Before we dive into this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you guys could please share so we can get the word out there. Now back to this. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was going to go a completely different direction with this whole entire video, right? Because I saw the manifesto. Oh, so that's released, right? So now we can look at all that. But the other shooter, right? All that, another disgusting, evil, vile human being. Why didn't we ever get that one? It's been months and months since that happened. Where's the manifesto for that? I would love to see that. So I was going to go that direction with this video until I listened to the press conference in this sheriff. I believe his name is Sheriff T.K. Waters, I believe his name is. Until I listened to the press conference and just how brilliant this individual really is, just handling it with straight class. This is an evil, vile person. But until I listened to him, I was going to go a completely different direction. There's about 3 clips. I'm going to cover them really quick. Listen to this first one.
No, he didn't have the guns back in 2017. He was only 15 at the time. There was no flag that could have come up to stop him from purchasing those guns. As a matter of fact, it looks as if he purchased those guns completely legally, and all the FFLs did what they were supposed to have done to make sure that there were no issues. So therein lies the difficulty. When a person grabs a hold of a gun with hateful intentions, it's very difficult to stop that from happening.
So right there, hits the nail right on the head. These red flag laws and all that, they have a more different purpose of what they really want to use them for. But what they say that they're for, right, to stop these things before they happen, there would have been nothing to prevent this. Got the guns legally. It's just a sick person. Like, if anything, if I have a vehicle and I want to harm somebody, and you know what I'm saying? There's nothing that somebody can do or predict with that. If I'm all happy-go-lucky and jolly and one day I decide to go crazy and run some people over or whatever, there's nothing you can do to prevent that. So that's a great point that he's making right there. There's no flag law. There's none of that would have stopped this from happening. It's this sick person that took it upon himself to take the lives of these innocent people. So that was one, and then it just gets even better from this sheriff. Look at this next one.
Standing here on the other side of this podium, he possessed these guns legally. We know what he did with them. What could have been done? What should have been done?
Well, we have to stop people that have bad intentions. Guns are, the story is always about guns. People are bad. This guy's a bad guy. If I could take my gun off right now and I lay it on this counter, nothing will happen. It'll sit there. But as soon as a wicked person grabs a hold of that handgun and starts shooting people with it, there's the problem. The problem is the individual. Now, guns are a tool that people use to do horrible things. But it's the individuals that wield these things. So we are working hard to try to stop that. But in this situation, in this case, there was nothing illegal about him owning the firearms.
Another brilliant point made by him. Mind you, there was several questions. They just kept hitting at him. What could have been done to prevent this and da-da-da. And then he finally just has to shut it down completely. If the firearm is set right there and nobody messes with it, nothing's going to happen. If a good person picks that up, nothing's going to happen. They're going to give it to the authorities or whatever the case may be if they find a weapon. If there's an evil person with evil intentions, they're going to hurt people with it. It's the individual that commits these acts. No matter how many laws or whatever, they do all kinds of laws to ban these kind of drugs or to ban this, it still happens. It's not the guns floating up or the drugs floating up. It's somebody grabbing it and using it as a weapon. Just like the sick person in Waukesha. Remember him? Went all in front of the whole entire parade, ran these people over. That's what I'm saying. It's not the vehicle, it's him. It's the person. He's a sick, evil person that's going to burn for the rest of his days. And this is what the sheriff, this is the point that he's making. It's just brilliant. And then the last thing that he says right here was just the icing on the cake.
After the shooting, are you worried this might have implications within the community of a racial divide here locally or even nationwide?
I don't think so. I don't think there's a racial divide in our city. And actually, I work along with some of the best people in the entire world. And it doesn't matter what color they are, what they look like. We are banded together as a community to fight these issues. And I don't think there's a racial issue. I know there are racial issues with some people. But as a whole, we are all standing here together because we're concerned about the same thing.
And just another, I'm going to keep using it, brilliant point made by him. We're all in this room. There's black, Asian, Mexican, white, whatever you want to say, Jamaican, whoever's in there. We're all with the same cause. We're all going in the same direction. There is no racial divide. He said there may be some people like that, and there's always going to, you're never going to, there's some people that just don't like certain people.
Hush up, boy.
And that's their prerogative, and it's all around the world. It ain't just in America. It's in South America, Asia, Africa, everywhere. Probably even in Antarctica. It's everywhere. There's people that just don't like a certain person for whatever it could be. The color of their skin, the way they talk, the way they conduct themselves. Or it's just a person that just hates people, just period. That's their prerogative. But the general people, the general population, all get along. Everything's cool. When you go to a playground, all the kids play together. All that racial stuff and all that is just taught by parents and people that are just ignorant. When you go somewhere, everybody gets along. That's why you go to a baseball game, a football game. Everybody's in the crowd together, unless some people get a little drunk and get to fighting. But everybody gets along. But they want to perpetrate this message. Oh, it's all divided. People hate each other. All the white supremacy, the greatest threat, and all this BS. That's all it is BS. You need more sheriffs like this that are just speaking 100% factual. It wasn't the gun, it was the individual. It wasn't the truck, it was the person that went in there and took these lives and then decides to take his own life. Just a complete coward, a scum, and then leaves a manifesto and all that and all this detailed description how he hates a certain race, he hates black people or whatever he's talking about. That's his prerogative. He's an idiot for even thinking that way, but it's the individual. And see how the conversation instantly goes to the gun, but he completely shut that down. So tell me what you guys think. I just love when you guys listen to the press conference. There's more stuff that he's hitting on, but the video would have been eons long if I went into all of that stuff. But he just made great point after great point. It's an individual that doesn't like this race of people. He ended up taking his own life. We need to focus on the individual, not what the individual used. Because if you take everything, right? You ban everything, shotguns, handguns, because that's what they want at the end of the day, to ban everything and just have law enforcement to have it. And that will never happen. People are going to get them illegally. It will never be like that. So it's a whimsical, silly dream that's a pointless one, and it's infringing on the Second Amendment, and they know that. But even if you took away everything, people, if they want to hurt people, they're still going to do it. They'll use something else. They'll use fishing line to strangle somebody or something, or they'll use a hammer, a mallet, they'll use a crowbar, they'll use a glass bottle, a vehicle. The people that want to hurt people are going to figure out some kind of way to do it.
He ain't lying.
So tell me your guys' thoughts about all this stuff, how you guys feel about what the sheriff was saying, also with this sick individual. And make sure you guys keep the thoughts of these families with you, because they're going through a time that probably none of us would ever know how to, because I wouldn't know how to deal with it. It's such a shame, man, to any of these people, such a shame. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And then if you guys could please share so we can get the message out there. And I will catch you guys on the next one.